All right, I don't know how much we'll get done of this. What do we got? 10, 15 minutes? I'll just do, well, we'll do as much as we can do. All right. So let's see. Okay, I got everything set, ready to go. All right, let's talk about a word right here, parallel lines. I think we've already talked about parallel lines, haven't we? A little bit. They're lines in the same plane that don't intersect each other. Yeah. But we haven't talked about this word, transversal. So let's talk about that word. Oops. Gotta fix this. Okay. Let's try it now. There we go. So let's talk about that word, transversal. The definition, you don't have to write the definition. I'll just write a couple pictures to describe it for you, but I'll read it for you. It says it's a line. Okay, so what's a transversal? It's a what? It's a line, okay, that intersects two or more coplanar lines in more than one point. All right, let's say that again. It's a line that intersects two or more lines. Okay, they got to be in the same plane. Two or more other lines in more than just one point. All right, so let's draw a situation where we have two lines. All right, there's two lines right there. Do you agree? All right, I didn't put the arrows on there, but that's okay. So that would be the two lines. It's not my transversal. So what does a transversal do? Would we say it intersects them, right, in more than one point? All right, so it doesn't just stop right there, all right, because it's only intersecting how many lines right now? Just one. Okay, so it's got to intersect both the lines in more than one point, so that would be 2 points right there. So that red line right there is our transversal. Pretty simple, isn't it? Yeah. You could have more than one line that it intersects. It doesn't just have to be two. You could have multiple. So here's a line, and here's a line right there. Okay? And so what if you had a line that goes like this? What do you think we can call that red line right there? It's a transversal because it intersects two or more lines in more than one point. See, there's 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. But it only intersects each line in 1 point. Okay? Everybody with me on that? Yeah, that's easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some angles. We're going to talk about some angles that a transversal makes when it crosses two lines. All right? So if I had a line right here and a line right here, I'm just being lazy. I'm not bothering putting the little arrows on there, but they're lines. They keep on going forever. Okay? And since we made that other one red, we'll stick with this. So there we go. Tell you what, let's move this up a little bit. Move this up a little bit. All right, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to number some angles. Let's just make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so you got eight angles that transversal makes with those two lines. Everybody got that? Yes? That's good. All right, let's do this. Let's make this, I wonder if I can make this whole thing smaller. If I just, oh yeah, look at that. I'm just going to push this over to the side a little bit. All right, everybody with me so far? All right, now we have special names for some relationships between these angles, all right? And let's talk about some of them. So the first one is going to be corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. I'll just put the angle symbol. Is that all right? Angles, apostrophe S. So let's talk about which ones are corresponding. Yes? All of them? No, not all of them. It doesn't say that. No, it doesn't. It does not say that they're all corresponding angles. I promise you, they're not all corresponding angles. I will promise you anything in this world. It doesn't say all the angles are corresponding angles. Okay, now there's a bunch of them, but not all of them. All right? It doesn't say it. I'm telling you. You're going to be embarrassed when I show you. What's that? But 3 and 5 are not corresponding. Only 1 and 3 are corresponding. Only 5 and 7 are corresponding.
Corresponding with each other. Okay.
Yes. All right. I accept your humble apology. It doesn't say all of them. So let's watch. Which ones are corresponding? When I think of corresponding, I like to group them. Do you see this group of 4 up here? 1, 2, 3, 4. See this group of 4 down here? Which ones in the top group match up with the ones in the bottom group? So for instance, angle 1. So we're looking at this group of 4 and we're comparing them to this group of 4 down here. Okay, so when it says corresponding, they're the ones that match up with each other. All right? So let's take a look. So angle 1. Angle 1 corresponds to what? Which one up here? Angle 1 is up here. It's the top left one up here. Which one corresponds to it over here? 5 does, right? Because it's also in the top left. Everybody see that? All right, so 1 and 5, they kind of match up with each other. 1 is in basically the same spot as angle 5 is. Do you see that? So they're corresponding angles. So angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. We're good so far? There's other angles that are corresponding. What about angle 2? 2 and 6. Now you see it already, don't you? All right, let's keep going. Angle 3 and angle what? 7. And then angle 4. Oops, let's make the angle symbol. Angle 4 and angle 8. And we're going to learn something special about this a little bit later. I doubt today, probably tomorrow, okay? But they are considered corresponding angles. They're the ones that match up with each other. Does that make sense? Now, we're going to do like 4 different combination of angles, all right? 4 names, I guess, special pairs of angles. This is one of them, all right? So you got to know what all 4 of them are. So make sure you understand. Corresponding angles, I like to think of it as this group up here and this group up here. Which ones match up? Well, the top left one and the top left one, right? The top right one, the top right one, so forth. Okay? Here's another name that we're going to do. I'm going to go in a little bit different order than they do in the book. This is called, let's write it down here. These are called alternate interior angles. We've talked about interior angles just the other day, didn't we? Right? We talked about, points, right? We said a point was an interior. All right, so it's kind of the same idea. Here's the 2 lines. Here's the transversal. What I want to see is which ones are the interior angles, meaning which ones are between the 2 white lines. So which angles are between the 2 white lines, the interior, inside the 2 white lines? Which angles? Just read them off for me. 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's right. They're the interior angles. Everybody see that? Right? Which ones would be the exterior angles? 1, 2, 7, and 8. That's right. Okay. So right now, the interior angles, you got to know what that is. It's either 3, 4, 5, or 6. Or actually all 4 of them. All 4 of them are interior angles. But what we want to do is look at the alternate interior angles. What that means is like the ones that are the complete opposites. So look at angle 3. Excuse me. Look at angle 3. Just the interior angles. Which one is like the complete opposite of angle 3? 6 would be. That's right. Because 4 is right next to it, right? 3, it's on the left-hand side. It's on the same side of that transversal. But 6, it's on a different side of the transversal, and instead of up top, it's down here on the bottom. They're complete opposites. Okay, alternate interior angles. You're going to use this a lot. All right, so let's see. So angle 3 is an alternate let's put the number here. Angle 3 is an alternate interior angle with what other one? We just said it. Angle 6. So 3 and 6 are alternate interior angles, right? What's another pair? There's one more pair of alternate interior angles. 5 and 4, right? So 4 and 5, if you group those together, 4 and 5 would also be alternate interior angles. Okay? 3 and 4 are both interior angles, but they're not alternate. They're right next to each other. You see it? Okay? 3 and 5 are not alternate because they're on the same side of that transversal. Okay? 4 and 6 are not alternate, but 3 and 6 are alternate interior angles. 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles. So we have alternate interior angles. What do you think the next one's going to be? Alternate exterior angles. I'll just shorten it a little bit. Alternate exterior. No, I'll even put the angle symbol. Okay? So let's list all the alternate exterior angles. So we already said the exterior angles, right? 1, 2, 7, and 8. So which ones are the alternate? Which ones are the complete opposites? Let's start with angle 1. So angle 1 and what? Angle 8. That's right. They're alternate exterior angles. Give me the other pair. 2 and 7. Good. Angle 2 and angle 7. Those are also alternate exterior angles. It's not so hard, is it? No, it kind of makes sense. I mean, the words actually make sense. All right? Corresponding, the ones that match up. We know what exterior and interior ones are. We know alternate means the complete opposite. So that's what we're talking about there. There's one more set, and then we'll finish with this. These are called consecutive interior angles. I'll just shorten interior and shorten angles. Consecutive interior angles. I used to teach out of another book at another school, and I kind of like the way that book named these angles better than consecutive interior. But we're going to use consecutive interior because that's what they use in this book. But the old book that I used to use called them same side interior angles. To me, that makes more sense. Just looking at it, same side of what? Same side of the transversal, right? So what would the same side interior angles be? 3 and 5, right? Because they're interior angles that are on the same side of the transversal. And what would the other one be? 4 and 6, okay? Now, consecutive means one after another. That could be confusing with 3 and 4. 3 and 4 would not really be considered consecutive angles. But 3 and 5, just know what they are. So angle 3 and angle 5, they're consecutive interior angles, and angle 4 and angle 6, they are consecutive interior angles. So it's very important that you know the groupings of these angles and what the names of them are, okay? So 1 and 5 are corresponding, 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 4 and 8. They're all corresponding angles, okay? And then alternate interior are those exterior, then interior, then consecutive interior. So would you be able to do that? If I put that on a quiz and I say, what's the relationship, or what? I don't even know how they would word it, but they would probably say, what's the name for the relationship between angle 1 and 8? What would you say? 1 and 8. Alternate exterior angles, okay? What if I said 3 and 6? What are they? Yeah, alternate interior. What if I said 2 and 6? They're corresponding. Okay, what if I said 3 and 5? What are they? They're consecutive interior angles. Everybody got it? Okay. And I could name them different. This doesn't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I could have gone like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? I could just put random numbers in there. You don't even have to go 1 through 8. I could put 754. That's that angle. That'd be stupid though, wouldn't it? All right. So I wouldn't do that. But you could. You can name it whatever angle you want. So you just have to be able to tell which ones are corresponding, alternate interior, exterior, and consecutive interior. Okay? That's a good place to stop. We'll stop right there, and then we'll finish it up tomorrow. So no homework tonight. I'll give you the homework tomorrow. If you want to start on it tonight, you know what it is, right? It's on the lesson plan thing I gave you. If you want to start it tonight, you can. Get some of it done tonight. Well, you might not be able to do a whole lot of them because we didn't quite finish the lesson. But there might be a few at the beginning that you might be able to do. All right. That's enough.